C++ basic syntax. So in this session we are discussing and concentrating on this aspect. So when you consider a C++ program, it can be defined as a collection of objects that communicate via invoking each other's methods. Let us now briefly look into what do class, object, methods and instance variables they are actually meaning. So at first we are going to discuss the object at first. Objects have properties and behavior. These properties are nothing but we will be holding some values in the variables and behaviors will be denoted by some methods. So example, a dog has properties like your color, name, breed as well as behaviors like your wagging, barking, eating and so on. An object is nothing but an instance of a class. We know that what is a class? A class can be defined as a template or blueprint that describes the behavior states that object of its type will support, and that is known as a class. So object is nothing but instance of a class. We know this word instance. Whenever we are discussing this word instance, it means that some memory spaces are getting allocated during the runtime of the code. So whenever some memory spaces are getting allocated, we usually call this one as instance or instantiation. And class is nothing but it is a blueprint or template that describes the behavior states that the object of its type support. Methods. A method is basically a behavior. A class can contain many such methods, and it is in methods where the logics are written and data is manipulated and all the actions are getting executed. These methods can also be called as class methods, can also be called as member functions or member methods. So in a class, we will be having multiple number of methods which will be deciding that what are the actions, what are the activities the respective class can do. Instance variable, each object has its unique set of instance variables and object's state is created by the values assigned to these instance variables and so on. These instance variables can also be called as member variables. That means the variables which will be residing in an object to hold certain values and so on. Tokens in C++, let us concentrate on it. A C++ program consists of various tokens, and token is either a keyword, an identifier, a constant, a string literal or a symbol, and that is known as a token. So token can have of different categories. We are having this one. A punctuation symbol, say a semicolon, it will be also one token. So here in this program we are having this hash include IOStream. Such program we had earlier also. We are having this using namespace. The namespace name is std. We are having one comment line here which we discussed in the earlier video also. Then int main is a function which returns one integer and takes nothing as input argument. And cout means console out, which will print something. This less than symbol is denoting the redirection operator, and there is a string to be redirected to this console, and here we are having one comment line. Always remember, console means that very device which will be treated as default input or default output device, and that's why it is called a console. Return 0, as main was supposed to return one integer, so return 0, the 0 is getting returned and it is indicating the successful termination of this code. So now let us have some semicolons in C++. In C++, a semicolon is a statement terminator, that is each individual statement must be ended by this punctuation symbol, that is semicolon. Different languages may have different other punctuation symbols. If you go for COBOL, then each and every line should be terminated by a period, that means a full stop. If you go for Java, if you go for C programming, there also will be having this semicolon as the terminators. But if you go for Kotlin, then in that case the semicolon giving is optional, you may or may not give. In case of Python, it is not requiring any kind of terminator in that case. So as a result of that, as we are having this terminator symbol, that is a punctuation symbol, that is a semicolon. So writing these two lines in two different rows I can also write them. I can also write in the same line if I want to require to do so. That means x is equal to y and y is equal to y plus 1. They can be written in the same line also because they have got separated by this punctuation symbol, that is semicolon. Now, for this purpose, for example, following are the three different statements we are having this. A block is a set of logically connected statements that are surrounded by the opening and the closing braces. So, in case of Pascal, we usually define these blocks using your begin and end. So, in some other languages, we might have defined this block in different way, but in case of C++, we are having this opening brace and closing brace, which will denote that these are the logically connected instructions are written in this particular block. So, these statements are to be enclosed within these curly braces to denote it that they are within a same block. So, for example, it will be denoting the block containing statement 1 and statement 2. So, we are having this line termination in C++. So, here you can see that this is the line which we have discussed earlier also, can also be written in the same line also. That will mean the same thing. But to have the better readability of the code, for the better understanding of the code, it is our common practice to write these things in separate lines. So, statement number 1, 2, 3 should be written in the separate lines and rows, but also you can write it in the same row. So, that will not produce any effect in the output of the code. So, C++ identifiers. C++ identifier is a name used to identify a variable or a function or a class, a module or any other user defined item, and that will be known as the identifier. So, while defining a variable, the variable name should be starting with some alphabet, either in the lowercase or in the uppercase symbol. It can also be preceded by underscore character, but a variable name cannot start with one digit, but in the variable name the digits may also appear. So, it has been written here. So, C++ does not allow punctuation characters such as $, and percentage within the identifiers and so on. There are some examples of acceptable identifiers. Here you can see that each and every identifier, the variable name they have got started either with underscore or lower and uppercase or lower or uppercase letters. So, these are the list of keywords we are having in our C++ environment. So, this is a list of keywords, they are in front of you, and in the next slide also they have got continued. So, C++ white spaces. So, a line containing only white space possibly with a comment is known as a blank line, and C++ compiler totally ignored that one. We know that these comment lines are only for this program documentation, so that when the other coder, debugger or any other programmer will read this code, he or she can get the meaning of the respective block and the respective meaning of the respective section of the code. So, that is why these comments are there, but during compilation the compiler will simply ignore those comment lines. So, no machine code will be produced in the ultimate compiled version of the code. So, int semicolon, here this particular blank space is nothing but a white space. So, blank space is a white space, we are having this one, there is a blank line, C++ compiler will totally ignore this one. So, that is known as a white space. It may be the escape characters, that is a /n, that is a white space character, because we know that escape characters are those characters which will not get printed, but whose effect will get printed. So, these are the white space characters we are having. Thus, there must be at least one white space character, usually a space between int and age, for the compiler to be able to distinguish them. On the other hand, the statement fruit is equal to apples plus oranges get the total fruit. So, now here you can find that the number of apples and the number of oranges are to be added to get the fruit count. In that case, we are having multiple places where we are having these white spaces are there as a blank space. So, here before and after this equal to symbol, this white spaces or the blank spaces are optional, but to increase the readability of the code we have given this one. No white space characters are necessary between fruit and equal to or between equal to and the apples, although you are free to include some if you wish to increase the readability of the code, and that is the main purpose for us. So in this way, we are going to define that what are the different kinds of white spaces we can use in our code. So in this session, we have discussed so many different important issues, that what is a white space, what is an identifier, what are the keywords, what are the respective punctuation symbols, everything we have discussed into details with proper example. Thanks for watching this video.